No, no. Distractions and destiny.
You know, we still don't have a budget for the PPPP, so let me do it myself.
Yeah, distractions and destinies, guys.
I am the distraction in my life, but
Wow. Wild and this is sort of a conversation about, you ever noticed how when you're finally getting your ducks in a row, right, and life is starting to get together, the past comes calling. Like it'll either text, it'll either just, it's weird.
it's not just the past, man. Like, honestly speaking, someone once said, I'm even scared of shining my blessings. But hey, bro, I get where you're coming from. I think there's this thing that happens sometimes when you close to approaching success or when things are going so good. There's an energy you carry, and people can smell it, and they will come with all sorts of boo.
There we go. A grade stuff, A grade BS, and it's crazy because a lot of people are caught up in their past, right? Which is scary, because I remember seeing a post that said a lot of people are caught up in their past. The crazy thing is that they wouldn't know what to do even if they caught it, because they'd be like, I got it now, right? And here's the crazy thing though, you might not know what to do with it once you get a hold of it, but your past knows exactly what to do to you when it gets a hold of you though.
But I think there's also another thing that you also, I don't know, this is me, right? I feel like there's two sides. There's the known past and the unknown past. Part of things that actually distract you, that you're not aware, is unknown things. Like, for example, in terms of love and relationship, let's say for example, or finance, there's things that you grew up in a household where you weren't really experienced to them, things that affect you psychologically as time goes on, which are your unknown things, and I feel like those are the things that eventually they catch up to you. For example, if you grew up in a household or around an area where we always drop our cars, we always modify them, anything, you grew up with that emotional stance, and then as time goes along, you think about this thing, or why? Do you like this thing, or do you like how it was presented to you? And you actually look at the long-term effect. How am I CEO and then I'm gonna pull up in a polo? And I know it's culture with a K, street culture, but there's also those things that they distract you from the actual goal. Excitement can be very distracting, because you get distracted. Even if like an ex texted you, that excitement can be very distracting.
Oh no, it is, because I mean, I think I love the fact that you took it deeper into like even culture. We need to question, why do we do the things that we do, right? There's this crazy analogy where this lady is cooking a turkey for Thanksgiving, right? And she's chopped the legs off, right? And the husband was watching her do it, and he's like, why do you do that? The oven is big enough. And she's like, no, it's always how we've always done it. It's tradition. It's our culture, right?
Exactly.
And he's like, okay. But he's like, but you can. And she's like, I know, but it's our tradition at home. He's like, sharp, I'm not going to ask. And so, the sister walks in and she's like, oh, cool. You're making a turkey and whatever. And so he asks and says, can I ask you, why do you guys cook it the same way? He's like, yeah, we chop off the legs, and put in the oven. He says, even though the oven is big enough, he's like, yeah. Until they actually got to the grandmother. And the grandmother's like, because they were like, our grandmother taught us how to do this, right? And so, and he asked the grandmother, why do you chop the legs off the turkey when you put it in the oven? And he says, because I understand that's your culture in the family. She says, no.
The oven wasn't big enough.
My oven wasn't big enough. So I used to chop it off.
Those are the unknown things that you carry over.
The things that we don't question, right? And then there's our past that it's such a weird thing. I always tell people, when you start to advance, it's like you said, it's almost like there's an energy about you. There's an air about you that says
money has an aroma. You can smell the money, bro. Bro, yesterday we I have, should I say, pretty boys. My homies are handsome gents, I'm always the one who is not mixture of gents. I'm always there. So usually when the hand passes, they're looking at my gents. This hand was clearly looking at me yesterday, and my boys are like, bro, on a usual day, we'd say he's looking at the driver. Because he's the driver, or anybody else who has a beard or muscles, because they're gym boys. But they're like, this hand is clearly looking at you. And I said word for word, can I say it? Aktabi. Money has an aroma. It's like they can smell the success, they can smell the blessings. And it's not just from a bad perspective. I think I was telling Tando a story of, I went to a bar yesterday. The way you get treated, the way people approach you, the service, even the regular customers there. There was a fan vague there that told me about my ancestors. I don't even know.
I don't know where he just decided, bro, I'm going to tell you about your ancestors. And you're like, okay.
This guy is drunk out of his mind. And he looks me dead in the eye. He's like, Your ancestors. What about Matlos? I'm still curious today, guys. If anybody finds a guy in a bar called Shamrock in Pretoria North,
Wow.
please, I don't know how my ancestors.
You always have the wildest conversations and experiences, but that's your life, you know. But in terms of just your past, it's crazy how when you're starting to progress, there comes a time when it's almost as if you're being tested, right? Like your past, and it can be in the form of a person, it can be in the form of a behavior, comes knocking once, right? Almost as if to kind of detour you from where you're headed, because you've worked so hard to get to where you're going. And then it's weird, like you don't even have to announce it. And I'm going to use people because we all can relate to this. You're starting to get your act together. You've maybe moved into a new place. You've got like I'm going to use the new relationship angle, right? You didn't even announce it, right? It's not even on socials, but for some odd reason you get a hey, right? Because the devil is on double time, man.
You know what it is.
Yeah, it's crazy, and you always want to ask yourself, how does that happen?
I think I figured it out. For me, remember, I'm very big on perspective. I used to look at it in that light that, you know, these things are coming back. You know what it is? Life is a game. And I learned this from one of my exes. Life is a game and it has different stages. But for every stage, as much as you advance to the next stage, it will still test you on the previous level and see if you really have qualified. So I think that's just life showing you that, look, I took you out of the situation and I put you into a better one. So are you still strong enough and are you capable enough to advance towards, you know, something more? Because things reoccur. It's like, financially, if let's say for example you have a habit of every month end when your money comes in, you call your boys, let's go to the bar, let's drink, and then that will always leave you broke, and you move away from that and you move into a better space where you know you're financially responsible, you have an alcohol budget, you have this and this and this. You're gonna be put in that situation again where one of your boys is gonna call you and be like, hey boy, let's go, you got paid. How are you gonna respond to that? It's literally that. I don't think it's literally attracting people, because like I said, you don't even announce the relationship, whatever. But it's just that. It's the trial of life.
It's crazy in that, for me, I always find it funny, right? Like, I always tell people that life is a divine comedy, right? In that, like I said, like with the relationship angle, in that you don't announce it, right? But there's some odd, weird, it's almost like a communication that, hey, he's happy, he's doing okay now. Like, get in there and mess it up, right? And it's crazy. And as much as we want to play victim in those moments when we do fall prey to the past. I was listening to there's a lady on Twitter. She was talking about how, you know, she was unbothered and this guy came, and, you know, she was like, I was happily single and you showed up and now my life is a mess, you know. And I was like, okay, yes, we do deal with all Satan out here, right? But at the same time, you chose to entertain him.
Hey Mona, funny enough, I was watching this series a while back called Lucifer. It's not what you think, okay, but it's not what you think it is. So on Lucifer, he plays a fictional character of the devil, but in this series, the devil is actually a good guy. But I remember in one episode, he was saying something very deep and profound, that people always cast their problems onto something instead of taking responsibility or blame of the situation. Like, it's always just easy to say the devil made me do it. No, did he put a gun to your head and say go back to your ex? Did he say go to conquer and conquerize?
And conquer your wallet?
Did you conquer your, you must conquer your problems, but you are busy conquer. No. And honestly speaking, I think as human beings, responsibility, I can't know what the period of focus was, the grandfather.
With great power comes great responsibility.
So you have great power. Where's the responsibility?
I think it's the, for me, it's there's a guy called Joko Willink. He's a former US special forces, right? And he speaks about extreme ownership. A lot of us, unless you cannot overcome or conquer that which you have not taken ownership of, right? Victims don't conquer stuff. It's when you decide enough is enough. I'm drawing the line here. This is on me, right? Like, there's many moments where, I mean, this morning I skipped my 5 a.m. workout, right? And I lay there in bed and I was like, oh, now I'm going to feel terrible. So I know what happens. Usually there's a process. I'm going to skip it. And then it's going to be like a really crappy day because I'm beating up on myself. And I had a moment and I was like, no, you missed it. That happened. It's gone. But I still have the rest of the day. I can choose how the rest of the day pans out.
That's true.
And you know
I'm
what I
actually
yeah.
thinking about all of this in my head.
Yeah.
It's actually
You can own it, like right now, like whatever it is, however you're feeling right now, you can own it right now. You can literally say, "I'm in charge."
And that's, yeah, I think, moving back to the topic of distractions and everything, responsibility is a huge part in it, because I'm a very spiritual person, not religious, spiritual, but I believe that don't confuse life and say I want to move forward and advance, but you're doing things that are taking you back. Like I said, there's certain things you move on from, certain people you move on from. There was a reason why, like, things are seasonal, people are seasonal too, situations are seasonal, but if you want to go back to the previous season, stay there, you know.
Some of you are actually with people that you're literally trying to drive forward, but they've got the handbrake up the entire time.
But I saw when I still
You're pressing, but you're spinning your wheels. And I almost want to say that there's some of you who need to let, and I know it's like the cliche thing, you need to let them go. No, but they may be, for all intents and purposes, some of you are scared to death of, if I leave here, who else will love me? Who else will care about me? You'd be amazed. And we're on a planet that's got almost like 8 billion people. Some of you just need to get a passport.
But another thing is, I don't know, I'm venting about something, I'm actually relating to the situation, right? I think there's a problem between being private and being silent. There's a huge difference. And what I'm understanding is that I always used to have this thing, they say that rich screams and wealth whispers, right? Which I love. But I've realized that there's people that are scared of shining or exposing their greatness, and they excuse it as humbleness or being shy, because they're scared of what other people are going to think, or they're scared of people reducing their blessings. Guys, there's an old song you learned in Clash, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Literally, that's what you're supposed to do. But also, like I said, there's also the difference between being private and being silent. Don't be silent, but be private. Not everybody deserves to win around you. Not every accomplishment deserves to be in it. Like, for example, for me, my proudest accomplishment is not even the success or anything that's happened. My proudest accomplishment was seeing my mom collect bottle caps for the whole year, like bottle caps the whole year, and I didn't understand why. And then she gave them to some lady, and then in exchange she got a wheelchair. This wheelchair went to like a small 80-year-old boy who's crippled and disabled, who didn't have a wheelchair. Like, he's been trying to get a wheelchair for the longest time. See, those are the small things that we don't post about. That's privacy, you know. And I think it's the same with finance, love, and everything. Protect what you love, but don't be scared to show what you can do.
I think
oof, damn, bro, today
like the queens. Just be aware of the distractions that come to steal your destiny from you. I know somebody once said, you don't miss the person, you miss the feeling that they came with. Learn to separate the feeling from the person. You can always find the feeling with somebody else. You can always find the loyalty with somebody else. You can always find the protection of someone else. You can always find the affection.
And I want to say this too, not just the hands, because I know there's gents that also do this. Guys, sometimes you can be doing all the right things for the wrong person. I'm going to say this again slower. You can be doing all the right things just for the wrong person. It's like, do the same thing with someone else and it works out perfectly. And you've been doing this for...
distractions again that are your destiny, and I'm gonna speak in the context of relationships. Resist the urge to stop being who you are. If you're a person that is affectionate, right, who is an all-in or nothing type of person, because that's the kind of person I am, right? Like, I don't do this half we gonna see. I'm, I set out, this is what I'm about, this is what I do, this is my standard. And if that standard is not complied with you, or does not, roll with you, cool, I fall back, right? Resist the urge to now, because you're mad, and I'm going to use like tough language, but if you met an asshole before, don't now choose to be an asshole yourself now. Or dim or fall back, or reduce the kind of affection and who you are in that space. No, continue to be that, because the worst thing that's going to happen is that you're going to meet somebody who's like you now, but now you're acting like somebody else, and they're going to blow right past you.
And the crazy thing is, you never know when the last lap is. And I say the last lap is because I've realized there's a pattern. Right before you're about to give up, sometimes that one last centimeter that you needed is everything else you needed, bro. That one last try can be the one that changes everything. And that's the case in most times.
It could happen to you, but you need to stay in the game. Beware of the distractions. It could happen to you. Like, some of us have quit when we're just around the corner. Right? Because the distraction came in the form of, man, what the hell? Why are we even trying?
Bro, I even use forex as an example, even though I don't do trading. But like, you can be an hour away from a trade that's about to change.
Yeah.
Like, literally, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, you, and I'm gonna put somebody on blast. You could be managing a damn business sitting in a bus, and then things happen. But I'm gonna keep it like that.
Hey,
that's it. That's it. We're out. I'm not gonna expose nothing because the devil is on double time. All right. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna announce it. I'm not gonna announce shit. Yeah, but hey, okay, guys. Kablash us like. Yo, peace out, guys. Yo, I'm backing the camera. Out.
In a bus. That's all I'm saying. Distractions and destiny.
Yeah, man, not even at Conca. Like, bruh.
On a bus.
And guys, please don't think I go to Conca frequently. I'm just saying. Even if I was there, you wouldn't know. But
on a bus, minding your damn business. That's all I'm saying. See you guys. Love you. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video.
Oh, thank you to everybody who got us closer to Trevor and Dylan Oliphant. Yo, I actually realized that I didn't actually give a shout out to Dylan, but Dylan is one of my favorite comic stock. Like, from all of his specials, I've seen him grow, bro.
Like, on the show, he had us doing this. And
he always does that. But yeah.
Dylan,
guys,
wow, storytelling.
Shout out to Just the Guys, and also to the ladies of Just the Guy.
I see what you did there. We love you guys. Subscribe and like it. Thank you so much, and we appreciate the support. We hit 100 views.
I'm always the one cluing though, but it's
because
fine.
it's your time. We hit a milestone first. It might not be big, but we hit 100 views. That was the fastest we've hit 100 views for the last one, which is the Trevor review. So thank you so much.
Because I'm back on the show. Excuse
us to start the show, the Thierry Henry of the show. I'm just a sidekick. We are here to accompany him in this life.
Thank you.
I love you guys. All right, cool. Ciao.